Alright, hey guys, good afternoon, and welcome to tonight's introductory video for simplerstocks.com. I think I mentioned last weekend, or last week rather, at the tail end of last week, that wanted us to be a little careful out there for a few days to come here. The reason being is largely this chart that I'm showing you now. This is a daily chart of the E-mini S&P futures contract. And it could be a SPY or an SPX, Diamonds, Qs, or anything. It doesn't matter. The reason is that we've noticed a tendency for the non-farm payroll Fridays that are noted as having that little down arrow, not down as in look for the prices to come off, but down as just pointing to that candle, and that is non-farm payroll Friday, the first Friday of every month. The tendency has been that we break for a few days afterwards into the end of the week prior to the expiration, and then we catch a bid into the expiration. So with that, if that pattern is to then play out again this month as it has in recent months, and really going all the way back through 2014 even, then we would start to look for prices to come off on Friday, which they did, and a little follow through into the end of the week. Now, there is this one phenomenon, I guess, or something that that we talk about in our live trading sessions, that there's this thing that we've affectionately referred to now as Turnaround Tuesday. So price has moved pretty considerably away from averages up here. As you can see, the 80 MA on this E-mini S&P contracts all the way back at like 2100, and we're two deviations, almost perfectly two deviations off the current average or mean price. So this has been a reversion to the mean market. So for us to have a bounce tomorrow, back up into the averages of 2100, maybe 2105 or so, something like that, means that means nothing really. It means that it did exactly what it did last time. It was oversold down here, and just when we think it can't happen, well, yep, it did. It was 2075 or so, something like that. The next day it's up at 2110. So it can happen. And for that to happen, like I say again, I think it means really just very, very, very little in the overall context of the markets, because basically this pattern that we're talking about would have us a little bearish into the end of the week throughout the remainder of this week, even with a bounce tomorrow. So what you want to be in and or exposed to are some of the things that are working, like this Eagle Pharmaceutical. If your chart looks like that, you're okay. All right. And that's an example of something that's working. You got good slope and separation. Your averages, 8's above 21, which is above 34, and price is above 8. Retracing us back into the 8 and even the 21 EMA are opportunities to rally the troops, so to speak, and find fresh new buying interest. Responsive buying then continues the price higher. Your chart looks like that, you're okay. And if it looks a little something more like that, then you're not. That's an example of something that's actually a little broken right now, and that we would no longer want to be just messing around with, especially not right now, not this week. Not this week, in my opinion. We need to kind of get through the end of this week, maybe find some responsive buying toward the end of the week, Thursday or Friday or so, something like that, and then we'll trade higher up into this June expiration quad witching toward the end of this week. So, if you're in something in the healthcare, biotech, pharmaceutical type stuff, you're probably doing pretty good. Transport's probably not doing too well. If your chart looks like that first one I showed you, where 8's above 21, above 34, prices above 8, and holding retracements back into the averages, you're okay. And if it's not like this, then it's time to, they say fish or cut bait. Well, it'd be time to cut bait and look for something that is working. So anyway, let me hop over into the premium video and take a look at what we've got that's working. And not all, I'm sure not everything's working obviously today in a market that corrected like it did today. So be with you again at the next update, and look forward to it. Till then, take care. Good night.